And a story as timely as today's headlines that is making the rounds that dovetails with our own Erika Lauren. Story about Nick Foles.
Oh, yeah.
Living every backup quarterback's dream. He takes the Eagles to the Super Bowl and wins. A big story today. The headline says, a doctor said it was all in her head, but it was the most common condition you've never heard of. And it was a story about Nick Foles' wife, who suffers from a disorder called POTS, which is what has forced our own Erika Lauren 2 feet from the floor in a chair,
living
practically
life.
Lying down.
Yeah.
Right. So this is shining a spotlight on this.
Amazing. This is like the best thing that's ever happened to the organization that, helps people with this condition.
But it also shows that Nick Foles is a really bad person and a really bad husband because he had an opportunity to come to Cleveland, be the quarterback of the Browns. The Cleveland Clinic is one of the best hospitals in the country, has one of the best doctors for POTS.
True.
And he's like, no, I'll stay here with the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't care about my wife.
That's probably not how it went exactly.
I think that's exactly how it went. How could it have gone any other way?
Right.
Is he playing for the Cleveland Browns? No.
He had an opportunity. They made a trade offer.
I mean,
and he
Philly's
said no.
not that far away.
He wanted to stay in an awful city instead of coming to Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
So Tori Foles is fighting a little-known disorder called POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, which is what afflicts our own Erika Lauren.
It sounds a lot cooler than it is.
Right. The most common condition you've never heard of. So a lot of people have this? Is that the implication there?
There are millions of people, and a lot of people are thinking because there aren't enough doctors to diagnose and treat this, that it could be even more than what they think it is.
Here's my favorite quote from this article, which I can only assume you've read.
Does it say that Nick Foles is a bad person?
Doesn't say that.
He's a
I
bad
think that's
person.
implied.
Okay.
I think we can all infer that from this, yes. Here's my favorite quote. POTS patients do not do well with gravity.
Yes.
It is not one of the best John Mayer songs.
In a nutshell.
Yes. It's basically like your body forgets how to adjust to gravity.
Should we send you to space? Would that
They
help?
actually say that people in space can develop POTS because...
Like Clooney and Sandra Bullock?
Maybe.
Oh.
Because when you don't have gravity on your system for a while, your autonomic nervous system can get all screwed up. So some people recover from that when they come back from space. Some people have POTS the rest of their life.
POTS support groups are found. Now, I hope, obviously, people like to read headlines and then they don't really read the story. So I hope this doesn't confuse people who are fighting to legalize POTS in so many states across the country.
POTS? Or they're trying to legalize pot
Oh,
or
pot.
POTS?
I'm sorry,
Yes.
pot. Yes. POTS support groups.
Is Erika an outlaw?
It's estimated that POTS affects between 1 and 3 million Americans. And there are support groups in a dozen countries around the world.
Yeah, the support groups, man, on Facebook. Don't go there.
Why?
Oh, they're a depressing place. Depressing place, man.
But is it a fatal condition?
No.
No.
It is they say it's a life-altering, not a life-threatening situation.
Gotcha.
So I'm not, my life expectancy is the same. It's just my life's gonna suck. You can live a long life. It's just, you have to make adjustments.
Like your quality of life is different.
Yeah.
And you before you got your diagnosis, you would tell stories that these people are telling about misdiagnoses and nobody
Yes.
knowing what was going on.
Being put on anxiety medications that I didn't need.
One woman said, I was told you're doing this because you're 31 and don't have babies yet, and you're trying to get attention from your husband. I was told I was anxious and depressed. Several male doctors told me that I was just going through puberty, said one 18-year-old girl.
I had a doctor in the emergency room tell me, a cardiologist tell me that he didn't believe in POTS and believed that I needed severe psychiatric treatment immediately and would be sending down a psychiatrist to meet with me right away.
Well, it's because it sounds like it could be so many different things that it's hard.
Sure, the symptoms are very
right.
They're all over the board.
Right.
So, but this cardiologist
like
sends
fibromyalgia is a big
Yes.
diagnosis now because doctors go, well, I don't know quite what it is, but you got a couple of the things. Let's just say you have fibromyalgia.
Well, there is some genetic testing that you can do to determine those things. The thing with POTS is essentially you can test yourself if you have it or not by just taking your heart rate while you're lying down and then stand up for a couple minutes and take your heart rate again. If it increases by 30 beats per minute or more and stays there, you have POTS.
But didn't you come to the conclusion some time ago that this was probably the most likely diagnosis for you?
Someone had mentioned this condition to me, but I didn't understand it because the people that had mentioned the condition to me didn't explain it. It was this foreign concept.
Yeah, it's
it
hard
was
to
like,
explain.
And let me be very clear, just for my own edification. It's not contagious, is it?
No.
All right.
No.
I'm going to send you in there with
No, but you can develop it after getting some kind of virus, like a flu bug or mono, things like that.
I just think about all the times where, like, we've done show events together, like when we all went to Cedar Point together, and you wouldn't, like, ride the roller coasters. Would you have, like, passed out if you would have gone on, like...
Probably. And, I didn't say anything to you, but on the drive to Cedar Point, I was having a lot of symptoms, and I didn't say anything because I thought it was anxiety. And when it's anxiety and it's mental health, people are less friendly to you and, don't validate your feelings.
Well, I'm less friendly to Nick Foles because he had an opportunity to help his wife, and he didn't take it.
The most unusual recommendation given to POTS patients is to add up to 10,000 milligrams of salt a day to their diet.
Yes.
One doctor says they should pickle themselves.
Yes.
Add V8 tomato juice, soy sauce, lots of salty foods, or salt supplements, along with 3 liters of water. You want to increase blood volume and flow to the heart.
I drink broth in the morning like it's a cup of coffee, and I add salt to the broth.
Have you hung a salt lick anywhere in your home?
No, I take salt pills.
Would you hang a salt lick in your home?
If you brought a salt lick in here, I'd lick it right now.
Wow. 341. All right. Good.
Yeah, I mean, normally they recommend salt is bad for people, but for us, it is a lifeline. I mean...
All right.
And even still, I'm having a really hard time. I wish I could say that I came back to work and I'm killing the game. I'm not. I'm not doing well.
Can you guzzle soy sauce? Can you do things?
I have little
I
packets.
drink pickle juice.
I have
pickle juice.
Little packets of soy sauce in the office if you ever need them.
I'll totally save those. I'll totally have them mid-show.
So you're drinking pickleback shots just with no whiskey. You're just drinking the pickle.
I drink at least 4 containers, like full of those like Clausen-size pickle juice containers. I'll drink the liquid from that 4 times a week. I'll have 4 of those containers a week.
Now, I know that you need it, but does it taste good, or are you just like, choking it down because your body needs it?
Love pickles, so thank God for that.
Okay.
But some people just take the salt pills. But the salt pills can kind of upset your stomach or whatever, so I try to get it naturally just by drinking salty stuff.
Well, listen, silver lining, Nick Foles clearly doesn't care about his wife.
That's all we should take away from this. Erika, you're having a hard time, I understand. But the most important thing is Nick Foles had an opportunity to help his wife by coming and being the Cleveland Browns quarterback, and he blew it.
Your condition, a distant second to the headline about Nick Foles. But at least his wife, it's bringing
awareness,
it's shining a spotlight on the condition.
And that's all we can ask for, because I don't want it to be a secret anymore. I want people to know about it, and I don't want there to be speculation that, and I've had speculation from my own friends on whether or not I'm faking it.
All of your non-doctor friends?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm exaggerating the symptoms. I can't even tell you I downplay a lot of the symptoms. I mean, I won't even go into detail, but
you're allergic to gravity.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big symptom.
That's pretty much it. Mm-hmm. But I will say swimming is awesome because it takes some of that gravity off, and it's like a freeing experience. And you can pee right in the pool with all that salt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It gets all warm. It ends up like the Great Salt Lake. People are like, why is it taking me longer to do my laps? Oh, there's all that salt pee in the pool.
I probably got peed on today.
Oh,
like, honestly.
By
in a group
yourself?
of old ladies doing aerobics, I probably got peed on.
Sure.
Yeah. Hey. We got to do a new YouTube thing.
No.
Yeah,
No.
Just do it.
No.
Just do it.
No.
Just say subscribe and share.